Hey everybody, this is Dream. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas today. Let's get into the NBA slate. We have a 5 game one. We have Milwaukee, New York, Golden State, Denver, Boston, Lakers, Philly, Miami, and Dallas, Phoenix. Now, how NBA works on Christmas Day is it's staggered throughout the day, so you have one game at a time. This definitely is a little bit irritating when it comes to injury report, but we have a pretty basic one today. For the Bucks, Crowder's out. For the Knicks, Robinson is out. For the Warriors, Green is out and Wiggins is questionable. For the Celtics, Porzingis is questionable. For the Lakers, LeBron and Davis are both questionable. Reddish is also questionable and Vincent is out. For the 76ers, Embiid is out and Batum is out. For the Heat, Butler is questionable. For the Mavs, Lively is questionable and Irving, Green, and Cleaver are out. For the Suns, Beal is out and Nurkic is out. So we have a decent chunk of injuries, but not too many questionable tags. Hopefully we can build a decent lineup from this, but we can make adjustments as the day goes along, so that's also a good thing. But I do have two core plays, one being Jamal Murray and the other being Tobias Harris, and I'll talk to them as I get through the lineup. Looking at our first top overall option is Luka Doncic. Now he's going to be hard to roster today unless some more value opens up. The value that is currently available is definitely kind of iffy, but we do have some upside here. Doncic has some good potential in this game. He's been on a pretty big tear lately, and I look for him to continue that. He also had a couple days off in between the last 2 games, so that definitely helps him keep himself in good shape. We'll also look at Joker, who's been absolutely unstoppable all season long. Really, the only thing that stops him are the refs, and they have managed to do that a couple times, but he has good upside, and he's a little bit cheaper than he has been, so that definitely gives him some more upside here as well. Then we're going to look at Kevin Durant. I expect him to have a monster game for Christmas as he's been pretty good lately, especially with Beal out. He does get more usage. And with Nurkic out too, he's going to even get more upside. The question here is if this game stays close or if one team gets out ahead of the other. But all 5 games are actually pretty close, exception of the Denver Golden State Warriors game, which is a 7-point spread. Then we're going to look at Tyrese Maxey. Now this is where it's going to get difficult. Philly plays Miami and they have the lowest total on the slate. However, Embiid is out and Maxey's going to have all the usage he can handle. His price is actually pretty cheap today because of the matchup against Miami. Now Miami game is a 226-point total, whereas the other games are at least 235 or more. But with that said, I think it's going to be advantageous to use a guy like Maxey as he has a lot of upside when other guys are out, and he has that 50 fantasy point or more boost. Obviously, they haven't played Miami yet this season, so we can't really say for sure. But if Butler misses, that definitely helps a little bit too. Then we're going to look at Jamal Murray, who is a core play. He's just frankly too cheap. He's been absolutely great when he's been playing. However, he has had some injury situations this season. He's just way too cheap for this matchup, for a Christmas Day matchup against the Warriors. I expect him to have a monster game here, and I think he's going to be a great play on the slate. Looking at Tobias Harris, anytime Embiid is out, he typically gets a nice boost. Now, Embiid actually hasn't missed a game yet this season, so this is going to be interesting to see, but he'll definitely be the second option from the scoring perspective for this team. Melton will be behind him, but I think he has a lot of upside for this matchup. He's also just nice and cheap, so that gives him a lot of potential today, even in the tougher matchup. Then we'll look at Hartenstein. Now, Hartenstein does tend to be a little bit streaky, but with uh, Mitchell Robinson out, he's gotten a nice boost lately. He does have a lower floor than we'd like at his price point, but he's got good upside in this matchup, and so he's definitely worth a look. Then we'll look at Melton, who has been extremely inconsistent throughout the season. He should get more usage today as a result of the situation. However, he did get moved to the bench last game, so we'll have to wait and see if he's gonna how he's feeling and stuff like that. So with Embiid out though, he should get a lot of upside potential here, and his price is cheaper than it has been, so that definitely gives him a lot of upside. He is very close to being a core play. His low floor kind of kept him out. There we're gonna look at 3 big guys for Philly. One being Paul Reed. He's going to have some potential today with Embiid out. He should get more minutes. The question here is if he can, get the fantasy points relative to the minutes. He's typically been a pretty good fantasy point producer, but a lot of times he doesn't get a ton of minutes, even if guys are missing. So it's hard to know exactly how they're going to rotate him and out. But with him out, he with Embiid out, he should be good to go here, and so I think he's going to be a good option on the slate. He's very close to being a core play. Same goes for Robert Morris for Philly. Sorry, Marcus Morris for Philly. Uh, he obviously has a low floor. He's also pretty old, but he's been getting some minutes the last few games, and that definitely gives him some potential here. Though he does have a low floor, he can score enough to pay off here, but he definitely carries some risk. He does need to score in double figures to pay off as well. So he's interesting, but obviously with Philly playing Miami, this is definitely kind of be difficult to choose between these three guys. The last being Covington, who's also played well in situations this season. However, there is some risk here with Embiid good to go. I don't know, out, excuse me. I think he'll get some minutes, and he did early in the season when Embiid was suspended, but I look for him to have a decent opportunity here. And all three of these guys have some potential in the slate, and they're dirt cheap, so they definitely have some potential. Though Covington is carrying a probable tag for this game. So, with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Hopefully, everybody has a Merry Christmas and have a nice day, everybody.